Lauren Yeates from Rave Up here, and today we're going to chat over Skype with Heffron Drive. Can we go back, covering the blanks, filling the cracks back in the living room? Hey guys, how you going today?
Hello.
Going great.
Welcome back to Rave It Up, Kendall, and Dustin, welcome to Rave It Up for the first time. But it's great to have you both on the show tonight, not just one of you, so we can have a chat about everything.
Okay. You'll learn all the secrets now.
Yes, I want to know all the goss, all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Now, you guys have just announced your slow motion EP, which will be released on February 10, and I know so many people are excited about it. How long did it take you guys to create this album? Is it true that some of the songs were kind of in the pipeline for a while?
A few of these are definitely pipeline songs, I guess. I've never called it that.
Maybe stuck in the mud, I guess you could also use that euphemism. We announced it, so slow motion, for example, has been around for a year, probably.
Yeah, I would say pretty much all of the songs have been around for give or take a year.
But but the difference is though, slow motion has been nearly finished for a year.
Right.
70-80% finished. And then we have stuff like Heights, it reminds me, was 20% finished for a year. And we just last week 100% finished it. You know what I mean? So some songs were in various stages in the pipeline, but yeah, they're mostly a year old, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it stressful having something kind of going on in your head for a year? I just want to finish this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely stressful, and finishing everything. Kendall and I have kind of been on pins and needles for the last few weeks, trying to get mixes back and solidifying all the paperwork and stuff to get everything done. So it's definitely stressful, but we got the final word that everything is good to go, and so we're good to go. And
yeah, we've heard that it will be on iTunes on February 10th. So as long as that's covered, we're happy. Yeah.
And why do you think some songs take longer than others? Is it just a bit of some come to you and some don't?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, for instance, Heights. We had never even taken. This is Heights was one that Dustin had been working on, I would assume, on his laptop while traveling, and then got back to the studio here and we pulled it up and worked on it a little bit, but still didn't really mess with it that much. And then 2 weeks ago, we knew that was one that we wanted to be on the EP. So we decided to finish it, and we had maybe taken cracks at it before. I know that we had some melodies that we tried, and when we came back, we were we tried that 6 months ago, it didn't work. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, it just was that day, 45 minutes with them working on it, and the lyrics were totally done, and nothing was like we had before. So it was all new. It's weird how it takes turns like that. It just kind of, out of thin air sometimes, I guess.
Well, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes having it longer, it means we've got a great product in the end to listen to.
We hope so.
It was incubating.
Cannot wait to listen to the whole album. What are your favourite songs off the album, guys? Which one should we be checking out first?
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, the mix on Slow Motion, which is the first song on the record, there's a part in the bridge that was also one of those last minute auditions, very last minute. In fact, it was as we were sending it out to the mixer, Kendall was oh, what about this? And he added a pause in the bridge, and it just gives it enough time to
breathe, I guess.
To breathe, yeah, and then the drums come back in, and it just kind of hits you. And everybody that I've played it for so far, every time that little section comes up, they're oh, that was cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. The cool thing about Slow Motion is there's a really cool intro that I don't want to give away too much about it because I want people to be surprised by it. But there is a great, I'd say 35-second intro or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
That was just totally off the cuff when it was done. But another one that I'm stoked about is one called Fingers Crossed, which is another one of those ones that just it was around in a very short stage. Another one that Dustin had been doing on his laptop, and it was around a very small, unfinished stage for a year. And then it was okay, we can finish this one. And because we play every instrument, but we're most proficient in guitar, we've decided recently to let's call our buddies who are great at bass to come over and play bass, and also hook our friends up and give them a job for the day, obviously, which is really important. And so we called, not that he needed it, but we called our buddy Bryce, who is the bassist from Lifehouse, Bryce Soderbergh. And he came over, and we wanted him to play bass, but we did want him to help us write the song as well, because we hadn't really touched it that much. I think we had the first verse.
Yeah, we had
parts of
the first verse done.
And then he came in, and we finished it that day, and then he recorded the bass and took off because he had somewhere to go, and then Dustin and I took it upon ourselves to finish it. And that's one of those songs, it's like, I don't know, you have to hear it. It's just really high energy, and the lyrics are really clever and are something that I think we can all relate to. The song is sort of about what, like, I guess it'd be breakup sex.
Yes, so, yeah. It's breakup sex.
That's great. Well, I think a lot of your songs just have amazing lyrics. You guys are very talented in terms of the songwriting.
Just you
wait. If you thought all the heavy stuff was good.
Well, I'm excited. And like the last time we were talking with Kendall and I was about the Happy Mistakes album. And I guess I wanted to know, like the Happy Mistakes album, are you guys thinking of doing like an unplugged version of this EP as well?
Oh, we haven't even talked about it.
Yeah, I can tell you what we have in our minds is we'd like to do a full length sometime soon, and like this year we'd like to put. The reason we put these songs out is that we wanted there to be music for people to listen to, especially we have some shows coming up as well, and it was important to have new music to get everyone excited about the shows, and also we knew that we weren't going to have the time to do a full length record by the time we had to go on tour, and if we did put out these songs now, then we wouldn't have had new music in a length, like we've been putting out singles, but we wouldn't have like multiple songs until, we wouldn't have been able to get to it till maybe August or something like that. So we like had to do it in an EP format to get music out, and then we're going to do a full length format, and probably won't even reuse most of these songs. We'll probably maybe carry over one, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Who knows? At this point, we just wanted to. It's been over 2 years really since we've released like a body of music. We released Rain Don't Come and Don't Let Me Go last year.
And Living Room is another single.
Yeah, so we just we wanted to get some music out to the fans and let them know that we're still alive and kicking over here, and hopefully bring in some new faces.
And by the way, this is the place where we're sitting in the place where all this new music was completely done and finished. So
the amazing room, the talented room.
It's right now we're gonna keep it to this corner because right now it's a mess. But I will tell you that it's like it's a really we've moved around the studio, and we've always made the studio portable because in LA people tend to move a lot. It just kind of happens with the way that people live out here. So I had to have my studio portable, and now it's in this room. And I don't know. I think the vibe in this place. We just finished some amazing music. I think it has something to do with how we feel here. How the new house as a whole feels, and there's a good, nice yard to go and relax. So this music feels very heartfelt, and we dedicated a lot of time to it. Just the two of us, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you got a room where you're comfortable and it's comes to you naturally. And I'm loving that Heffron Drive sign in the background there.
Yeah, that's a real street sign, actually.
That's a real one, yeah.
You just stole it from the street.
Well, we'll tell people that, but we're not actually that big of badasses.
We actually ordered it online.
Yeah, we bought them online.
Well, you could have lied. How do we know? But that's awesome. It just adds to the room. It's good because it's the Heffron Drive area. So you guys are currently busy on tour, so we really appreciate you taking some time out to talk to us. You're performing in Russia, Netherlands, France, Switzerland, and Italy. Where are you most excited to visit?
Well, there's a few.
It's a lot of new markets for us.
There's a lot of places, like, for instance, Heffron Drive hasn't played in Amsterdam, but Dustin and I have both separately been to Amsterdam. Heffron Drive hasn't played in Switzerland, but I've been there. So there's places that we're playing shows for the first time. Paris, we're playing shows for the first time. Lyon, we're playing for the first time. And then I think the one that we're excited about, just because it's one of those countries where it's kind of a mystery, is Russia. Like Moscow and St. Petersburg, I know like stuff, I know images of them, like the Kremlin building and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really know anything about the country. So it's kind of,
exciting to go explore.
Yeah, we know stuff about Switzerland and we know stuff about Amsterdam and France and Italy, but Russia is a far cry.
Yeah,
so
you're going in blindfolded. Yeah. Do you guys get some downtime as well to enjoy these places as well?
Actually, we will. This is probably the first tour that we've done in a long time where we actually have some time off.
Although we're not really going to use it as time. We're trying to film some videos of while we're on the road as well. So
yeah, we've become very self-reliant on producing material. So shooting some videos. Just going to be shooting a ton of different footage and material to release all over the next few months.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. More things to look forward to. And you guys thinking of coming to Australia anytime soon? Come on, we really want you over here.
Yes.
Oh, we would love to.
Of course.
Well, you're welcome anytime, and like it would be great to actually properly face to face meet properly.
Yeah, we'll just bring an air mattress and crash on your living room floor.
Free accommodation here for you.
Good.
And a comfortable home instead of just hotel to hotel. There you go. Yeah. Always welcome. Just let me know enough in advance.
When we buy our we'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely. You have my contact, so call me over Skype. And for those that are coming along to the shows, what can they expect?
Well, I guess mainly the new music is something that we're really excited about playing. We have possibly one of our favorite lineups as far as the guys that we have playing with us. We have our buddy AJ Novak, who actually recorded the drums on these new songs. So it's kind of cool that he's going to be there playing the drums that he recorded. And then we have our buddy Christian Vieira, who is kind of new to our Heffron Drive crew, because we have quite a few guys that we rotate depending on who's available, of course. And Christian is actually from Wichita, Kansas, where Dustin and I are both from. And we know him through his family, friends, like that kind of thing, you know? So it's really weird to have another guy that's from the same city that we're originally from. But it's just the four of us. So we have two guitars, bass, and drums. And it's just a really great show. And I guess for some people, we're going to be playing some material that they might be excited about from another band.
Yeah, we got a couple covers in mind. And also, another thing, too, Kendall has been shooting photography a lot recently, kind of what we were talking about earlier. But he's got prints of his photography that we're selling at the merch table. So that's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, and Polaroids.
Oh, taking it back.
Yes, Polaroids are really cool because each one of them is individual. It's just of us in the studio and hanging and chilling, playing shows and setting up for rehearsals and stuff. And it seems like the fans really love it. So we're going to be showing up with a large amount of Polaroids. We're actually bringing some music equipment too to possibly record some stuff while we're traveling. It's a little difficult to do like anything, too intensive like vocals or whatever, but we'll be demoing. We'll be making some demos for sure. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Keep them busy. Yeah. How do you do it all?
All at the same time. Otherwise, you run out of stuff to release.
That is true. And we always want new releases, don't we? Yeah. And I have noticed on your website, you guys are selling really cool Heffron Drive merchandise, like the hoodies and the t-shirts. And I'm guessing that's going to be at the merchandise table as well.
Yes, we're going to try to have... Well, the thing is that it's a little hard to travel with some of that stuff, and then shipping a lot of that stuff to, Russia is, a little difficult. So we're going to have as much merch as we can. I know that we're going to try to order some stuff in Europe to have shipped around Europe rather than sending it from here. We'll have as much merch. And actually, I think there might even be new stuff that's not even on the website.
Cool. We've got to go to the shows then. And I have noticed you guys are also selling like temporary tattoos. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, and they're my tattoos, which is cool. They're all the...
Which fans love, because it's like, we want to be just like Kendall.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's kind of standing out from the crowd, because really, when you go to a merchandise table, it's always t-shirts and hoodies, but not really temporary tattoos.
Well, I guess also we should say that we're going to be making some vinyl and also cassettes for the EP.
You're really taking it back now.
Really taking it back. Because, believe it or not, people really like that vintage stuff and the sort of retro feel, and we've always wanted to do vinyl, but to be honest, like Happy Mistakes Deluxe is 16 songs. That would be a really expensive endeavor for a small band like this, so I think a 4-song EP is, like, perfect to put, Dustin was saying, on a 10-inch vinyl, 2 songs each side. It's going to be great. Like, it's the perfect format for a small vinyl record like that. We're stoked.
Definitely.
Now, it's with all the merchandise, it's kind of, I guess, kind of like a gift for your fans. And obviously your fans are always giving you gifts in return as well. What is the best and like weirdest fan gift you've ever received, or fan mail?
Well, we were just in Mexico a couple weeks ago, and I got this T-shirt that said "Yo soy Mexicano," and it just had like all things typically associated with the Mexican culture. So I had like tacos and like a bag of Doritos and like a can of beer and all this stuff, and it's just like all these little pictures, and I went, that's pretty cool. So yeah. I've actually been sleeping in that T-shirt, so that was pretty cool.
I got a similar thing. I got a shirt that was the Mexico soccer team, the Mexican international soccer team jersey that said Schmidt on the back of it. And we've gotten jerseys throughout the years, but I don't think that I've gotten like a proper Mexican one like that. I mean, I've had like maybe different ones that were kind of worn out, but it looks like a brand new jersey, so it's really cool.
Looks like you're getting some good gifts from your Mexican fans, and they know you really well if you're wearing it all the time now. Yeah, well, if they're listening to this interview, they're going to be very, very touched.
Yeah, well, I guess now, because Dustin and I have been switching up the style a little bit on stage, so if they want to get us some button-up white shirts, that would be really appreciated.
16 and a half in the neck.
I'm 30, a 16.
35 in the arm length.
So that would be great.
You're probably just going to be bombarded with white shirts now. Now, your new song, Living Room, is now out as well. What was the inspiration behind this song? Was it written about anyone in particular?
Well, it was purposeful about being about the living room, because I actually started the song in my living room. Partly because I was tired of being in the studio, and I was like, I'm just going to put my laptop in the living room and kind of casually make music, and not be so like sitting at the desk and trying to come up with something. And then I just kind of had this idea about a song about everything that happens, in a relationship in the living room, because you spend a lot of time with your significant other in that room, and a lot of great things happen and a lot of really bad things happen, especially in a long relationship. But it's about all of those different struggles, and some are struggles that I've been through, and some are struggles that I hope I don't have to go through, and some are positives that I have been through, and some are positives that I hope I get to go through. So I think, when Dustin came over and we started working on the song together, obviously he got that concept. And then it was just firing off ideas like that, and trying to tell a story, which I think doesn't necessarily happen in music these days. There's not a lot of stories, I think there's a lot of music that is more focused on maybe like a track or something, but we wanted to really tell like a real story about something that people could relate to.
Oh, that's good, because it is an amazing song, and I've checked out the video on YouTube. It's a beautiful video. How long did that video take to shoot?
Well, we shot that with a buddy of ours, Wesley Quinn, who's a director, and we shot it in Challen's house. Challen played Kendall's mom on Big Time Rush, and it just happened that her and her husband were going on their delayed honeymoon.
Yeah.
And they were going to be gone the weekend that we wanted to shoot, so she said, hey, you can come use our house. So we shot Saturday and Sunday for 2 days, and just shot from pretty much like 8 in the morning until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and just got as many shots as we could. And we bought some of her and bought and used. I don't know if you know what you've heard in the song. There's a lyric that says, "Wine bottles were draining with all that we went through," and we were like, we'd like to use wine in it. Plus, we like wine, and a young adult couple drinks wine. And we were like, Challen's family has a winery, or they make a line of Pinot. And we were like, yo, we'll buy some bottles from you, and we'll use your wine. I mean, it was built-in product placement. It was
built-in product placement, but not from like a big company. It was just like friends kind of helping friends out, that kind of thing. And of course, we love it because she went above and beyond to let us use their house, we didn't have to pay them anything to use their house. So it was just very kind of them. So I think buying 6 bottles of wine is not that big of a deal.
Right. It was interesting too, because we all kind of wore multiple hats with that shoot, where I was running around filming. We used an actual Super 8mm camera, so I was shooting some footage, and then I'd turn around and he wasn't in the shot, but he would be shooting Super 8 footage that, we would use in the video. So it was kind of fun. We all kind of...
Well, there was even Dustin got down to his underwear and got... I don't know, did you see there's a scene where Mika and I fall in the pool, and then there's like the cut of in the water of us splashing in the water, and that was Dustin in his underwear with a GoPro.
It was cool. So freaking cold.
Yeah, it was like a rainy day in LA, so it wasn't like...
The water was 52 degrees Fahrenheit, so I don't know what that is Celsius or anything.
It would be like 10 or something.
It was cold as hell, and it took way too long to get that shot off, but hey, we got it. That's all that matters.
So talk about wearing multiple hats.
Well, it made good footage. That's what matters.
And it made the cut.
That's true. The cut. That's the main thing.
I think, Dustin, you would have been devastated if it didn't make the cut. All that, I was in there with my underwear in the cold.
We'll have to release that video at some point.
What, of him just in his underwear, the behind-the-scenes footage?
Well, of him, like, getting mad at me for taking too long, and being like, come on, hurry up! Damn it! Oh, this is so cold! And him being in his underwear, funny.
Somewhere along the line, we're going to have to release
Whenever
that video.
people want a piece of pure gold footage...
Yep. A minute and a half with Heffron?
Yep. Yeah. I think you need to release that. Now that you've said it, all the fans want it.
Yeah, it's just me in my underwear.
Yeah, exactly.
And who was the girl in the video clip as well? Looks like you and her, Kendall, you had a bit of chemistry there.
We have some pretty good chemistry. No, that's my girlfriend, Michaela. And it only made sense to do that in the video because in order to kind of show all those ups and downs, you could meet someone, an actress, and I will say, though, with our timeline, it would have been difficult, but you could probably find someone and work that chemistry, but I knew that with Mika, it wouldn't be difficult at all, and it would look real, and it was obviously real, so it really lent itself to the video, I think, of connecting with people, because it's like, wow, that really feels real, and it's like, well, it was, because that's the love of my life, so of course it is. So I think it was a no-brainer, and it ended up turning out really cool. And heartfelt, I guess. Is it good? Yeah.
It was beautiful. I had a sense it was, and I was like, that's actually a really good idea to include her in it. Was she used to being in front of the camera as well?
Well, she's getting started acting, but she's comfortable. I mean, that's what she wants to do along with a bunch of other things. But so she was comfortable enough, I think. It seemed like it.
It seemed like, well, it came out well in the video.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, fake it till you make it, right?
Exactly. Well, that's what acting is anyway.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, all the Big Time Rush fans out there are just loving this at the moment, because not only have you guys released new music, but so has James and Logan as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Carlos has released a baby.
It was some sort of release.
Yeah.
Some sort of release, which is great. It's awesome to see all that, and it's great to see you guys continuing music, even though the band isn't together anymore.
Yeah, I saw some fan. I don't remember what the Twitter handle was, but it was something like, this is such a great time for us Rushers because, James put out a song, Logan put out a song, Heffron Drive put out a song, and they have an EP coming out, and Carlos is sharing all of his footage of him with his family, which everyone loves, of course, because everyone loves to see that. And I think there's a lot of people out there who still say all the time, is Big Time Rush ever going to get back together? Is Big Time Rush? But technically, Big Time Rush, or at least the members of Big Time Rush, are putting out a lot of really great content. And it doesn't matter if it's all four of us together. It's coming from the four of us. And then, of course, there will come a time when, we'll want to get back together just to have fun because we love playing shows together. But I actually think it's a really cool time right now. You have each person putting out their heart and soul. And for the fans that love the band, I think it's probably a really fantastic time.
Did you guys plan it like that? Like releasing all music at the same time?
We all got in a room together, a quiet, dark room.
We got said, let's all release music at the same time. No, that was, that is a real coincidence. But I guess it kind of makes sense. But it's not for us. Dustin and I have been releasing music now for 2 years. But the timing for those guys putting out their new songs when we're just about to put out some new stuff as well is unbelievable. So I think it's great. I imagine everyone's going to be listening to everything.
It's good timing, like starting the year off on a high. And Kendall, you've actually kind of started like a new cool segment on social media called Coffee Time with Kendall. I watched one of them. I was like, this is so entertaining. Like, it's just you making coffee and talking to your fans, but you know, it's really good stuff. And you did mention in a video that you like to buy a lot of stuff off of Amazon. What is the weirdest thing you've bought? We really need to know.
Weirdest thing I bought? Well, I bought a 10-pound block of African black soap one time.
Okay, why?
Because I had this idea that, you know, in the house. So this soap is multi-use. You can use it for dishes, body. I mean, it's sort of one of those things. And I was like, we probably spend a ton of money on soap in the house of various sorts. You know, like 15 different types of soap for all the same purpose. And I was just gonna get this big block of African black soap and use it. And it turns out it was a little bit more difficult to dilute like I thought, and now I have this 10-pound block of African black soap that's just sitting in my house. And I don't know what to do with it. So if anyone wants any soap, feel free.
Repackage it.
Yeah, I'll repackage it as Kendall's African black soap.
I'm sure that would sell for a lot of money on eBay to one of your fans. As weird as that sounds.
Music, I can start slinging soap.
Soap up for grabs, everybody. Now, you guys have already achieved so much in your career and, you know, the new EP out and a tour at the moment, but what's up next for you guys? What can we expect in the future?
Well, like you mentioned, the EP is coming out February 10th. Our first show in Russia is February 9th.
In Moscow.
In Moscow. So we're going to be in Europe all of February performing, and then we're going to come back and pretty much immediately go right back into the studio to start working on the full length and getting that up and running. Other than that, just lining up more shows for 2017.
Trying to squeeze a couple videos out of this tour as well. And not even just like tour videos. We're trying to actually take it upon ourselves to film a storied video while we're in Europe, which is going to be a little difficult, of course, because we don't have any. It's going to have to be off the cuff, run and gun kind of thing. But I think it's going to end up being really cool. And I actually just got a drone, and that I was actually teaching Dustin how to fly right before we called you. And it's like it's like this big when you close it up. It's like a really portable one, but it has a 4K camera. So we're gonna take that with us and just try to get some amazing shots of the countryside in Russia, in Switzerland. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna come up with some sort of video, and it's gonna be amazing because we wouldn't release it if we didn't think it was great. But I can promise you, we're gonna squeeze a video out of this tour or two.
Gosh, you guys are working so hard, and we really appreciate it, obviously, because we're getting some great stuff out of it. And add Australia to your tour eventually, please.
We'd love to come down there, and
we can hop on a ship. We'll do it 2.5 weeks to get there.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, because it's more economical with the bags.
Those heavy ass bags.
So just hop on a ship. We'll take a cruise.
And you can enjoy the cruise while you're at it, you know. And you've got your own personal tour guide. If you want to see some really cool places around Sydney, I'm here for you.
Oh yeah, we'll go to Bondi Beach, and where else? We'll go. What was that one restaurant that we used to go that we went to that had the crates on the floor at Bondi Beach?
Oh, I don't remember.
There's a restaurant that has seats. The seats are like plastic crates. Like plastic carrying crates. It was right on the beach in Bondi. I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, we'll go there.
I need to check that place out, obviously. Something I didn't know about, and I've lived here all my life. That's weird.
I don't know how you search that.
I don't know. Milk crate restaurant one day. I'll have a look. I'll have a look before you guys come.
Perfect.
And also, what advice would you guys give to the listeners who might want to become a musician?
Well, I mean, we've always said this, that you just have to start somewhere, And I think people get overwhelmed with I don't think anyone's going to go from not playing an instrument to a arena filling musician in a year. You have to start somewhere. So you have to start with learning something or trying to take singing lessons, and then you learn a lot of your favorite music. You kind of find out what you love making, and then you start to make your own stuff. But I mean, most importantly, it's just finding people who support you, working with a team of people who can all get some stuff done. And then the main thing is making use of the internet. because, I mean, otherwise, how's anyone going to find you? Seriously, it really just make use of the internet and take full advantage of it. Do not have any shame when it comes to trying to come up with as much content and put out stuff as possible. Just make sure it's quality stuff, and you can get there too.
Yeah, I would say if you're gonna like pick up an instrument, a guitar or bass or something like that, I would say you don't have to get anything that's overly expensive to learn, but don't get anything that's really cheap as well, because those are sometimes even harder to learn on because
it doesn't sound good,
and it's not going to sound good. So something that's kind of like the mid-level, so it doesn't break the bank. If you don't wind up liking it, you want to switch to something else, and you could sell it and use that money for something else. But don't go with the most expensive option, and don't go with the cheapest option. Like there's a lot of really good instruments
somewhere in the middle.
Well, that's great advice. Thank you very much, guys. Hopefully they take it on board. Well, we are getting to the end of the interview, unfortunately. It's gone very fast. I've had a lot of fun. But as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Oh, man. That would be two different people.
I wonder if the 14-year-old self would have been when I would, like, what year it was when I was 14, or if it was like if I was 14 now. Because what I would tell myself then doesn't necessarily relate to a teenager these days, you know? If I had to say something to my 14-year-old self if I was alive now at 14, I would say, and this goes out to all those kids out there, when I said use the internet, I mean use it for creative and expressive purposes. But I would say don't focus on what people say on the computer, because if someone can't actually say something to you in person, then it just doesn't matter. And even then, if they say it to you in person, it doesn't matter anyway, because you are you. And, you know, I think there's a lot of kids out there who get really upset and get bullied. And I get really upset with it because it just is a really common problem these days. So I tell kids to, instead of focusing so much about anything on the computer, try to use those feelings to create something beautiful and then maybe make some artwork out of it, rather than worrying about someone who isn't even in front of you saying something that just doesn't matter anyway. You know, that's what I would say to my 14-year-old self if I was around now.
I would tell my 14-year-old self to be fearless. When I was younger, I was definitely shy. I'm still a reserved person, but way different than what I was. And I think that probably held me back from a few different things. So I would just tell myself, you know, grow some balls and just go try things and be afraid to fail, because that's how you learn, is, you know, trial and error. So if you can do that, you'll succeed. As long as you keep persevering and keep going, you'll be fine.
That's good advice for all the people listening as well, all the younger people. Now, before we go, if the listeners would like to contact you guys or find out what you're up to, where should they go? Well,
main place, heffrondrive.com.
Yep. Our Facebook is facebook.com/HeffronDriveMusic.
You can also find, I have a personal Facebook that's Kendall Schmidt Official, at Heffron Drive on Twitter, Instagram.
At DBeltWrites.
At Kendall Schmidt. And if you can't find us from those places, then you can't find us.
You could just Google Heffron Drive. That's the best way to find us. That's what it
really comes down to. You just got to type in the name on a search engine, and there we are.
And it should come up, hopefully.
It should. If it doesn't come up, then we're not doing our job.
Right.
Yeah. Or they're spelling it wrong, either one.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, guys. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully I can have you on again in the future, and even be better to have you here in Australia as well, as I said. So
yeah, we'll come visit, and we'll see you when we come out there. And either way, if we don't see you sooner than later, we'll do another Skype interview.
Definitely, I think it worked out better than the phone interview as well.
Yes.
Because actually, you feel like you're talking to someone, not just a voice.
If you think about it, we are still staring at a computer.
That is true, but we can see each other. That technology is amazing.
Think about it. Like, you're in Australia right now, talking to your computer, and then, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's strange, but it's cool.
But yeah, let's keep in contact and we'll make it happen.
Awesome.
All right, sounds good.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that interview, and if you'd like to listen to any of my other interviews or check out any of our videos, go to our website, raveituptv.com. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.